What's going on, everybody? I'm DJ Av Trap Camp, and today we're going to be talking about something cool. And I'm not talking about my dog on my shoulder or this Biggie Smalls shirt that has a cat's face on it. No, we're going to be talking about sampling, something that everybody been wanting me to talk about for a long time on this channel. So yeah, so if this is the introduction video, so if you have a problem with me talking, I have a special message for you, Birdman.
Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
Thank you, Birdman, for that message. Pure gold, you won the internet. But anyways, more importantly is the fact that, you know, sampling is something that's kind of a lost art in music anyways, in terms of music on a daily basis. But we're not gonna get into the whole chatty patty part of it. I'm gonna actually show you, and I got a perfect track, and thank you, because I'm gonna get a copyright strike. I know it. But, you know, Show and Tell by Al Wilson. And I thought that would be pretty cool for me to actually sample something for you. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right. So with that being said, we're already in here and we're geared up. I'm just gonna do one thing. One of the things I do in FL Studio is this right here. And this right here is what I'm looking at. It's the playlist. And it's, you know, it's all good and cool, but, you know, just set your stuff to this right here. Just set it to the playlist, because I believe that, you know, having on the playlist, there's certain things that will help you out in guiding you on, you know, your sampling voyage. And, you know, go into like your mixer and just press Shift plus E, and, you know, it's all together. That will pull up Edison, which is probably one of the most remarkable tools in FL Studio as well. So, you know, utilizing that, we're gonna go and pull up that sample. So we're gonna go and press on that little floppy disk thingy there, and I believe I have it saved on my desktop. And we're gonna load Al Wilson's Show and Tell, and here comes the copyright strike right here. Anyways, so with that being said, and YouTube going through the algorithms that it loves to do when it wants to copyright strike somebody randomly, we're gonna go, and what I did just there, and I might as well just go back, is I double left clicked and made sure that I highlighted what I wanted to sample, and, you know, by using Control X. Control X will delete all the extra stuff that you don't want. And there's also something else that I want to bring to the attention here. Down here, there's a little, one of your usual tools that you get to be able to stretch your waveform within, you know, whatever DAW you're using, or for the most part, this. And you get to do, and you get to do, you know, we're looking at this part right here, and as you see, there's a blank space right here, which could throw you off if you're trying to, if the sample that you're using is good off the one beat, you know. And what you could do is you can use this tool right here, which is Trim Side Noise and Gate, and it'll clear that up for you, you know. And unfortunately, that's not going to do much in this particular area. What I do want is a good 4-bar loop out of the sample. So what I'm going to do, as so listening to this sample or whatnot, coming from the beginning, I've noticed one thing. One thing you have to notice about what you're sampling is, or know, and this is just something, you know, developed from years of sampling, is that when you sampling live bands, they're not going to be 100% quantized like 99% of the beats are now, or songs now. They're humanized, you know, they're human. They're not going to be able to stay on beat like that. So you got to make sure that you're on the best part of the 4-bar loop that you want to sample, or whatever, 4, 8 bar, 16 bar, however you want to sample it. And I know, you know, the drummer himself was catching the groove, because he's setting the pace of the whole entire arrangement of that part, of that composition. So Here we go. I'm just gonna go and just go to the best part I want. So I noticed that part right here is a little bit better. It's a little better for sampling than that particular area that I was at in the beginning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trim that off. Sometimes you might want to leave a little space there so you have a little wiggle room for the next part that I'm gonna get to. But you know, just for you know, purposes of shortening the video, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So, you know, I'm going to cut out Wilson because I'm not really using that part, even though I do love the show and tell. It's the game. But anyways, I do love that part, but, you know, just for time purposes. I'm going to play that back. So I'm good with that as I nod my head. So what we're gonna do from this point is we're gonna take this part and we're gonna use this option right here, which drags and copies the sample selection. And from there, I'm gonna drag it and put it into the playlist as such. And now that we have that, you know, now we're gonna go to the biggest issue, or the hardest thing, the hardest part of sampling, depending on what you're sampling, is the timing it. Now, with this particular sample, I chose this sample because it's very difficult to time this sample, and I might even struggle myself. So, you know, but anyways, the first thing is this. Make sure that you have your quantizing to none, and you're gonna see why. It's because when you don't have it, when you have it online or whatever, it's gonna quantize it to the beats or bars, depending on what you're quantizing or whatnot in that measure. So for that point, we're just gonna go and just check out a few things right here. So with that said, let's go ahead and just check that out. So, you know, as I do have the metronome on, and that's just to help with the timing. But there's also a cool thing that I do like about FL Studio. As you can see these lines here, these grid lines. And the whole mission that you want to be on in terms of using those grid lines is making sure that it fits. I said, once again, I recognize that I wanted a 4-bar loop. You know, by nature, I know what a 4-bar loop is. You know, you can learn it by just counting the sample itself, and I'll turn it off. And we're going to count with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. As you see, that's what I wanted. That's how I wanted to loop. So with that being said, I got to make sure that it fits in there. So around 89 BPM, you know, without me using a metronome, that seems like it'll fit. Because you see, if you count right here, you see the 4 bars is 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th bar is just the other 4 bars that you might use. So keep that in mind as well. So now that we know that it loops or whatnot, there's certain things that still has to be adjusted. And the reason why it has to be adjusted is because of the way it's playing. So as you can see, I'm on it, but I'm off. Just because I just deleted that one part. And I really didn't delete it. I just moved it just to see what I had to adjust. So we're trying to adjust it to where it'll fit. And if you listen to the bass line, and what I'm trying to do now is just trying to make it where the bass line is on the one, and creating that. And once again, you know, we just kind of zoom in so we can adjust as much as possible, so that it is possible that it's on beat. Trying to adjust as much as possible. Now that we have that established, you know, we can try and fit it in there. I don't think it's 100% correct, even though it does loop on point. I don't think it's the way I really would want it to be. But, you know, just try it. Try certain things out. You know, which you can go ahead and see. Just drop a drum line or two in there. So we're gonna add. And then we gotta correct that. I'm gonna make sure that and for laying out the drums, what I've noticed is seeing that it's not hitting perfectly on the 1-2 beat. or to 2/4 beat, or rather have you. There's certain things that has to be adjusted in the sample furthermore, and that means that this part right here, going back into none, it's closer to the 1 than that 1 area right there. So with that being said, I'm just going to get rid of the drums again and then lay the drums out again. Just going to go into quantize and then lay it out. One thing, one thing I did notice yet again about this sample is that it's quite hard to get the timing down in it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to lay out the drum line so I can actually find out what we need to adjust in the sample, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty good way to just find out what's going on and move from there. So I'm just going to use the quantize. I will use the metronome and then the quantize to get to that point. Let me see, I gotta fix that. So let's go from that part, and then we're gonna bring the sample back in and see how much I have to adjust. So to get it on that, I'm just gonna go and again go back to none and get that sample right. This part right here has to hit on the 1, so I'm just gonna go do that and see how much I could use it. Now this is what you got to do, just for that extra space that you have right here. And this is just once again, this is just my way of doing it. See if we can get that timing down, so that way we can loop it in. Now that we have that established, we're gonna go and adjust this sample that we just brought back in there. Now, with that being said, there's quite another issue here, in which I can go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put that in a track. I'm gonna make this track 1 by alt and cursor left over, and now we have the Al Wilson on that in the insert. Now from there, and last but not least, for that measure, for this tutorial, we're gonna do one thing, and that is record that in there. So I'm gonna make sure that there's no samples, no effect on the master, because it's already, you have the FL limiter or whatnot. And I am going to record to disk and render to wave. Make sure that everything is cut to remainder. Don't leave remainder wrap. And we're gonna print everything up. Now everything is printed up. We're gonna go back and delete the original that we had slid over. Now we have untitled show and tell. Now here's another thing about this tutorial that I want y'all to keep in mind. Is this, perhaps you want to make this faster or slower, because it might not be your steez at a certain BPM. As you can see, only the sample is stretching, and that's not what you want. So what you want to do is go and fit to tempo and set it to 89 embedded. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna restretch every single time that you restretch the beat. Well, you change the BPM. Now listen to it now. Now, with that being said, that's cool, right? Now we're just gonna go ahead and just for ish and giggles, we're gonna go ahead and just add a kick and just get this beat moving. And now that we have a kick sample in there, we're gonna just go ahead and record it in. Engage your metronome. Oops, I forgot to unarm the recorded track, so it recorded a little extra. That's why I had to delay in it. But anyways, that's pretty much it. And again, I'm just gonna go ahead and do certain things like cut itself, so the freaking snares and the kicks don't sound so stupid. And that should let's get some volume on there now that we're up there. And again, if you follow the directions properly, now with that being said, you can just readjust it, because I quite like it at 89. And matter of fact, I did want to sample this. Still kept that vibe. Go back here, add other stuff. Was that on 5? Put a little bit of reverbage on the boxes. Go ahead and adjust that a little bit. I don't want that too wet. See if I can get some act right on my MPD, and we do. So we're gonna go ahead and add some hats. And all this is just you can do whatever you want. This is basically how I like to make my sample beats. Or whatnot. You might want to add something else that's not as so southern driven, And I don't need any quantizing on that. I'm gonna go note repeat, and I'm gonna try it out real quick. Let's see what this does. aren't 100% on point. There we go. of course, you could add more to it, like, you know, some strings or something like that, and, you know, and perhaps whatever other elements you may want. You might want to be careful, because something like this that already has a bass in it, like a natural, beautiful guitar bass. You got to be careful about putting 808s in there, because of, you know, phase distortion or phase canceling, and, you know, it causes some weird muddiness in the track or whatnot. But that's not really about sampling 101, is it? But that's basically it in a nutshell. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Once again, this is a series. I will be talking about resynthesis again, and, you know, different plugins you can use to you know, engage in that in another video, and other you know, sampling, like resampling, creating a sample, and all the other types of sampling in other videos. So just check it out, stick with me. You know, it is what it is. And thank you again, guys, for requesting it so much, because I got to the point to where I was like, hey, guess what, if people want to learn about it, why not teach it? I'm DJ Av. Again, you know, appreciate y'all. Sorry about the malfunction on my MPD 232. I don't know what's up with that, but, you know, I had issues earlier. But anyways, I'm DJ Av. Thank you so much, guys, and we is out of here.